Attack on Titan is finally over. I know there's going to be a lot of videos and articles discussing the quality of the finale and the show as a whole, but I wanted to take a look at a grander scale, to ponder a question that people are going to ask years from now. What is Attack on Titan about? Now obviously the answer to that question is, it's about a lot of things. The horrors and endless cycle of war, overcoming fear, sacrificing your goals and dreams for the good of the many. But I want to discuss what I think is at the core of the show. Attack on Titan is about entrusting the next generation, a belief that the next generation can be better, regardless of the horrors of their upbringing, regardless of what the world has told them to believe. How do we overcome fear? How do we stop this endless cycle of violence and war? Maybe belief that young people can overcome what previous generations have not is what can keep the world alive even for just a little longer. Even if all wars will never cease and hatred will always exist, perhaps the next generation can see a different perspective, a light at the end of the tunnel, a glimmer of hope in an ever dark world. Delaying tragedy even for just another generation is worth it. Hope will always continue to exist as long as we invest in our future. Levi chose Armin to lead because he remembered that look in his eye, that look of optimism, of hope, of belief that perhaps things can be different. I keep going back to that scene in season 4 where Gabi kills Sasha on the airship. Falco stops Gabi from killing John, who just so happens to be the leader of the group at the time, something that Falco doesn't know when he stops Gabi. After the Corps jumps Gabi and Falco for killing Sasha, Flock comes up to John and asks him for permission to throw them out of the airship. In that moment, I think John says one of the most important lines in the show. If we throw kids out of an airship, will the killing ever end? Or, if we're willing to kill these kids, will that actually do anything to stop the killing? John, in that moment as the leader, denies Flock's quest for revenge and instead chooses to use that moment to teach Gabi that the world she was told to believe in isn't what she thinks it is. Her beloved war leader betrayed her precious Marley, and he is against the interests of the Marley perspective. John believes in the healing of the young people, even the young people who actively hate them, even the young people who are actively killing them, and even the young people who just murdered his best friend. In this fog and chaos of war and violence, John chose to believe in rehabilitation and deprogramming from this child's horrific brainwashing. We now know that this decision led to Falco, a kid who already showed that he was willing to, having his eyes open, tap into a power that has never been seen in the 2,000 years of the Nine Titan history. A flying titan, a physical embodiment of rising above the expectations and horrors of being born into this world. A kid who can soar above the hatred and violence and use his power to save people and stop this world-ending genocide. Our decision to entrust and invest in the next generation is what will keep the world alive for that much longer.